This is an abomination. Because of this your problem, the marriage will be over.
Thank you, please.
Uncle, I'm not God.
No, you're not.
I'm not God.
But I am
Sit down
begging
there.
for your forgiveness because I did not mean to lie
Every time
to you.
forgiveness. How many times I will forgive you?
You won't believe what just exploded in Daniel's family. He's sitting there, voice tight with tension, telling his uncle the truth about Lisa, 5 marriages, lies about divorces, and a secret past that she never ever admitted. And the look on his uncle's face? Pure stone. Cold. Judgment written across every line. Lisa's heart is pounding, her hands trembling. She's sweating, tears threatening to fall, and every second feels like it might be the one that shatters everything. Daniel's pulse is racing too. He knows he's walking a tightrope. One wrong word, one misstep, and his dreams of marrying Lisa and even his future in America could vanish in an instant. He's trying to stay calm, trying to frame the story so it lands without detonating the whole room, but every truth he reveals feels like gasoline on a fire. Lisa's panic is raw. She whispers, she begs, she glances at Daniel, silently screaming, "Help me." Every plea, every word of explanation is met with silence. The uncle doesn't blink, doesn't flinch, doesn't give a hint of mercy. The tension is unbearable. You can feel the stakes. The marriage could end here, right now. Daniel's loyalty, Lisa's desperation, the uncle's authority, it's all on the line. Will the uncle forgive her? Can Daniel protect the life they've been trying to build together? How far will cultural expectations override love? And more importantly, is Lisa about to watch everything she's worked for collapse in front of her eyes? The answers aren't coming easy, and the clock is ticking. Lisa's chest feels like it's being crushed. Every step closer to her uncle's presence drags her deeper into panic. Her mind races, flipping through every lie she's told over the years, every half-truth she used to hide her past. She remembers the promises she made to Daniel, the explanations she rehearsed, the careful way she tried to mask her secret life. Now every memory feels like a chain tightening around her, each one a reminder that exposure is imminent. Her uncle's eyes fix on her, unblinking, full of judgment that cuts sharper than any words could. His voice, when it comes, is calm but icy, each syllable dripping with authority. He cannot understand how she could deceive, how someone could betray not just trust, but the sacred traditions he holds dear. His moral compass is immovable, anchored in cultural rules that do not bend for excuses, and Lisa feels it pressing down on her like a weight she cannot lift. Lisa tries to speak, to explain, to soften the blow with words of honesty and remorse. Her voice trembles as she pleads, "I didn't mean to, please," but her uncle interrupts. Daniel steps in, voice low but urgent, trying to mediate, to frame her past in a way that might reach him, trying to shield her from complete destruction. Yet every attempt seems to backfire. Every argument Lisa makes, every desperate plea only intensifies the uncle's disapproval. He shakes his head, refusing to let her speak. "Not yet," he says. The command is firm, unyielding, and Lisa realizes in that moment that she's at the mercy of a man whose judgment is final. Or at least it feels that way. Panic rises again, heavier this time because now she understands. She cannot defend herself, and everything she loves hangs in the balance. Lisa's voice is silenced, her fate temporarily out of her hands. Will she survive this confrontation, or is this the moment it all falls apart? Daniel's heart feels like it's being pulled in 2 directions. On one side is love, raw and undeniable, tethered to every moment he's shared with Lisa, every plan he's imagined for their life together. On the other side is logic, the weight of reality pressing in, the traditions he cannot ignore, the family he cannot simply defy, and the consequences that could ripple through his entire future. He wants to protect her, to shield Lisa from the storm she's created, but every attempt leaves him exposed, vulnerable, and painfully aware of how little control he actually has. He steps forward, voice steady but strained, trying to advocate for her while also defending his own dreams of a life in America, a life he's worked toward for years. Every word he chooses carries a risk, too soft, and he betrays his resolve, too forceful, and he inflames his uncle's fury. The tension is electric, thick in the air, as if one wrong syllable could ignite a collapse of everything he's built. Lisa watches him, heart in her throat, hoping his presence will soften her uncle's judgment. But the uncle's authority is absolute, a crushing weight that leaves no room for compromise or emotion. Daniel can feel it pressing down on him as hard as it presses on Lisa, leaving both of them teetering on the edge. Will Daniel bend to tradition and sacrifice his dreams, or will his love for Lisa push him to defy the one person holding the power to make or break them? Can Lisa's desperation sway anyone in this room, or is her fate already sealed under the uncle's rigid gaze? Every heartbeat counts, and the choices Daniel makes now could change everything forever. The room feels smaller than it is, charged with tension so thick it could be cut with a knife. Lisa tries to explain herself, her voice shaky but urgent. My culture in America is different. Things there, they are not the same as here. She hopes this argument will soften the blow, that context might buy her mercy. But her uncle's eyes narrow, disbelief and fury flickering across his face. He does not want context. He wants accountability. His traditions are non-negotiable, his moral authority absolute. To him, Lisa's excuses are not explanations, they are further proof of deception. Lisa feels shame washing over her, a hot, suffocating wave. Every lie she's told, every secret she's kept, seems to pulse in the air around her. Fear claws at her chest, and the thought of public humiliation presses down harder than any physical weight. This isn't just about a marriage being questioned. This is her reputation, her integrity, her entire future being dissected in front of someone who refuses to bend. The uncle's voice cuts through her panic, cold and unwavering. He refuses to accept cultural differences as a justification. A lie is a lie, no matter where you are, he says, and the finality in his tone leaves no room for negotiation. Lisa's heart drops further as she realizes the enormity of what she's up against. Daniel steps in, trying to mediate, but even his presence seems insufficient against the weight of tradition and authority. The stakes climb higher with every passing second. If the uncle won't bend, could the elders or higher authority step in to intervene? Will there be a path forward? Or is the dream of marriage and Daniel's American future slipping through their fingers? Lisa's desperation intensifies, but the ultimate question hangs. Who will yield first? Tradition or love? Lisa's body betrays her completely. Her breaths come fast and shallow, chest rising and falling like she's trying to outrun the storm she's created. Tears stream freely now, her sobs breaking through every attempt at composure. She drops to her knees, hands trembling, and begins to beg, voice cracking under the weight of panic. Every word is desperate, pleading for forgiveness she isn't sure she deserves. Daniel reaches for her, trying to offer comfort, his hand resting on her shoulder, but even he looks helpless, caught between wanting to protect her and fearing the full force of his uncle's judgment. The uncle's expression doesn't soften. If anything, it hardens. He watches her unravel, but he does not flinch, does not show a hint of sympathy. Coldness radiates from him like ice, and every second of her panic seems only to confirm his belief that she is untrustworthy. For viewers, this is a moment that cuts deep. We recognize the fear, the terror of being judged by someone whose approval dictates your future. It's a situation that taps into primal anxiety, the kind that makes you want to hide, disappear, or erase the mistakes that brought you here. Lisa's panic is relatable in that raw human way, even as the circumstances feel extreme. Her cries bounce off the walls, echoing in a room that offers no comfort, no reprieve. Daniel whispers assurances, but even his love can't shield her from the cultural weight pressing down, from the authority that refuses to bend. Every second stretches, taut with tension, because the next words from the uncle could destroy everything, her hopes, her relationship, Daniel's dreams, the entire future they've tried to imagine together. Every eye in the room is on him, and with a single declaration, he could end it all. Daniel steps forward, voice shaking but determined, heart pounding in sync with the tension in the room. He looks at his uncle directly, trying to convey every ounce of sincerity, every thread of love he has for Lisa. Please, uncle. I love her. You know me. I've never brought anyone to meet the family before. She is different. She's special. His words are raw, stripped of pretense, because he knows the stakes are higher than ever. This isn't just about affection. It's about their future, their dreams, and Daniel's chance at the life he's envisioned in America. The uncle tilts his head slightly, the first subtle crack in his otherwise unyielding armor. He studies Daniel, weighing every gesture, every inflection, every flicker of desperation in his eyes. Authority is still there, but the ice is beginning to melt imperceptibly. Daniel senses it. He pushes forward, not with arrogance, but with urgency, layering his plea with the gravity of consequences. I know she made mistakes. I know it's not perfect. But I am asking for a chance. Please reconsider. Don't let this end everything we've worked for. Lisa watches from her knees, tears still streaming, her panic momentarily tempered by hope flickering like a candle in the dark. She clings to Daniel's courage as her lifeline, even as the weight of cultural judgment presses down. The tension oscillates between despair and the faintest glimmer of possibility, keeping hearts racing. For the audience, this is a visceral moment. It's not just about love versus authority, it's about the power of persistence, the gamble of vulnerability, and the collision of human emotion with rigid tradition. Every second feels fragile, every breath a potential turning point. The question hangs over the room and over the screen: can sheer persistence and the force of love tip the scales against years of unbending tradition? One word from the uncle, one nod, one sigh, and the future of both Daniel and Lisa could change forever. Lisa wipes her tears, takes a shaky breath, and tries to stand tall, knowing this is her moment to fight for more than just her pride. This is about survival, love, and the life she wants with Daniel. She begins cautiously, speaking with a mix of honesty and desperation. I made mistakes, uncle. I lied. I hurt you. I know that. But I want to make it right. I want to show you I can be trusted, that I can honor your family and traditions. Her voice trembles, but each word carries the weight of someone ready to be vulnerable, even humiliated, if it means a chance at redemption. The uncle remains seated, arms folded, face tight with skepticism. His gaze cuts through every syllable. He is not yet convinced. Every plea is measured, every tear weighed. The room feels suffocating, like a battlefield where each gesture is a move in a game of survival. Daniel steps in, placing a steady hand on Lisa's shoulder, reinforcing her words, amplifying her intent. She's sincere, uncle. I've never felt this strongly about anyone. Please, help us find a way forward. The balance of power begins to shift. The uncle's rigid stance shows cracks. His voice softens just slightly, a subtle recognition of Daniel's commitment and Lisa's courage, yet the ultimate decision is still out of reach. The tension spikes. The audience is left holding their breath. One misstep, one doubted word, and the window closes. The next move isn't theirs alone. The elders hold the final verdict, and their judgment could change everything. The uncle leans back, his expression a mix of authority and calculation. This is not just my decision, he says, his voice firm, each word cutting through the room. The elders, the spiritual leaders, they will decide if this can proceed. The weight of hierarchy lands on Lisa like a physical blow. It's no longer about her and Daniel alone, it's about a system, a community, centuries of tradition, and the power of social judgment. Every past lie, every secret, every moment of deception now feels magnified under the scrutiny of a society that does not forgive lightly. Lisa swallows hard, panic and determination colliding inside her. She is painfully aware of the ticking clock, her departure from Nigeria looms, and with it, the chance to salvage her life with Daniel. She speaks again, voice shaking but louder this time. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll face anyone, answer any question. I will show I am worthy. Her words hang in the air, vulnerable and raw. Daniel stands beside her, a mix of hope and anxiety etched across his face. He tries to mediate, trying to show the uncle that Lisa's remorse is real and that his commitment is unwavering. Yet the uncle remains cautious, glancing toward the doorway as if imagining the elder's judgment already forming in his mind. The tension is unbearable. Every second feels like it could tip the scale. The stakes have grown far beyond personal mistakes. This is about family honor, cultural rules, and the scrutiny of every elder who holds power in this community. Will Lisa's pleas reach the right ears in time? Or will tradition, strict and unforgiving, close the door forever before she has a chance to fight back? Suddenly, the uncle shifts slightly, his posture softening ever so subtly. His eyes, still stern, now show the tiniest flicker of consideration. Maybe there is a way, he murmurs almost to himself, but it will not be simple, and it will not be without conditions. That one line sends a jolt through the room. Lisa freezes, hope and disbelief warring across her face. Daniel leans forward, clutching her hand, heart hammering, as if trying to transmit courage through touch alone. The tension is unbearable. Every moment stretches longer than it should. Lisa's panic bubbles beneath the surface, her chest tightening as she imagines the elder's judgment. She's lived in fear of authority before, but now it's amplified. This isn't just one person who can veto her dreams. It's a network of power, steeped in tradition, with the weight of community expectation pressing down on every word she says. Daniel tries to steady both himself and Lisa, repeating her assurances, emphasizing her remorse and commitment. Uncle, she loves me. She wants to make this right. Please, your guidance is all we have. He pleads without sounding weak. The raw mix of desperation and respect keeps the room suspended between judgment and mercy. The uncle listens, nods slightly, but still holds the upper hand. Authority runs deep. He knows the elders will want every detail scrutinized before giving even a hint of approval. Their strategy here, he's balancing mercy with control, showing Lisa that accountability matters, but also that he understands love and loyalty. The stakes have never been higher. Will the elders endorse this fragile path forward? Will Lisa's pleas and Daniel's loyalty be enough to pierce the barrier of tradition? Or will centuries of authority and expectation shut the door before their marriage can even begin? The answer hangs in the air, and the clock is merciless. The uncle leans back, his voice measured but firm. I am willing to speak on your behalf, but the final decision is not mine. The elders must give their blessing, and until that happens, nothing is certain. The weight of those words lands heavily on Lisa and Daniel. Relief flickers in Lisa's eyes, a small glimmer of hope, but it's tempered with the knowledge that this is far from over. She exhales shakily, feeling the tiniest lift in tension, yet the path ahead is still steep and unforgiving. Daniel squeezes her hand, trying to inject calm into the whirlwind of emotion swirling around them. His heart races, not just from fear of losing Lisa, but from the awareness that every decision, every gesture, every word they utter now could tilt the balance of centuries-old tradition. Authority here is layered, and one misstep could undo everything they fought to reach this point. Lisa, desperate to prove her sincerity, nods rapidly, mentally preparing herself to face the elders directly, to kneel, to plead, to show the depth of her remorse and love in a way that transcends words. The uncle continues, You will have your chance to speak, but it will be public. The elders will judge. Your actions, your honesty, and your commitment will determine if this marriage can move forward. The room holds a tense silence. Daniel's dreams of America, Lisa's hope for forgiveness, and the family's reputation all hang in perfect, terrifying balance. Lisa has a lifeline, but it is conditional. The elders hold the power, and every second counts. Will their love survive the scrutiny of tradition? Will Lisa's honesty and vulnerability be enough to sway authority? And what challenges lie ahead before the marriage can finally happen? One thing is certain. This story is far from over, And the next chapter promises even more drama, heartbreak, and high-stakes tension.